Hello, I'm Francis Weightman, and thank you for inviting me to share with you a presentation. Today's presentation is on Franz's Sweet Potato Pie, a recipe to remember. And if you're not sure who Franz is, well, that's me. Enjoy. First thing we want to do is gather the ingredients. Below is a list of the ingredients as well as some of the supplies that are needed to make this sweet potato pie. You can pause this video at any time to take down any of the ingredients, or you can take a screenshot of this entire page. But if you don't have these ingredients, that's fine. Let's just go shopping. Okay, let's prep. This pie recipe makes 2 pies. First thing we want to do is make sure that everything is clean and sanitary. Always wash your hands. First thing we want to do after that is gather the sweet potatoes. We want to peel, wash, and cut the potatoes, but make sure we are practicing safety at all times. Always cut away from you, always peel away from you, and make sure that each time you cut the potato, your hands are not in the way or your fingers. You have to be very careful. Potatoes can be slippery and they can try and get away from you. If you'd like to pause this to follow along and read more of the details, please do so now. We're going to move ahead and look at preheating the oven. You want to have your oven, whether gas or electric, on 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Take both pie crusts that are not frozen, make sure that they are room temperature, remove them from the packaging, and use a fork to poke in the pie crust, making small puncture holes. This ensures that your pie crust does not bubble up. You want to make sure that does not happen. That could cause your pie crust to crack. If you would like to decorate it, you can use a fork, as you see here in one of the illustrations, to just press down and make a nice little edge. It's up to you, or you can leave it be. Once the oven is preheated, make sure you put these pies on the middle rack, not too high and not too low. They could burn. Always checking to make sure that the pie crusts are ready and not overcooked, because again, they have to go back in the oven and cook what's the actual filling. Okay, so it'll take a while for those potatoes to cook, but we can move along and show you what are the steps to follow once those potatoes are ready. Make sure you follow each step carefully, again, ensuring safety at all times. Don't forget to check on those pie crusts, and keep in mind you can pause this at any time or go back if you need to see the previous slide. All right, let's take a break. Well, it's time to cook those pies. Place those pies on the middle rack. Again, this cook time takes about 45 minutes. So what you want to do is set a timer for 45 minutes. You can put a timer on your phone or on the stove, or you can use a timer that's just like this in the picture. You want to also set another timer for checking the actual pies after 30 minutes. If your oven has an oven light on it, you could turn it on versus disturbing the pies, but it won't do anything to it. It just cuts back on the heat in your face from the oven. So after about 25 minutes of cooking these pies, or 30 minutes, you want to take a large piece of foil to cover both pies. You want to actually do this before you put the foil in the oven over the pies. You want to make it like an arch. So as if it was the length of 2 of the pies, and you can do this before you place the pies in the oven to get an idea of how large of a slice. And you can bend the foil up with making little creases on the ends as if they were bookends. That way, once you put it in the oven, it's towering over top of both pies. This is just a little trick of mine. It keeps the pie tops from burning. But it also allows for the pies to cook and develop a nice caramelized texture. What are we going to do with ourselves while we wait? Is it time for pickleball? No, it's not enough time for that. And you want to make sure you never leave your home with the oven or stove on. Maybe we should just purchase a pie. Save us on the cleanup. Or you can sit along the couch with a favorite pet or friend and just think how you can't wait until that pie is done. Great, you did it! You made 2 sweet potato pies. Make sure you get your oven mitts before you go into the oven. Remove those pies and turn off the oven. Place the pies on the cooling rack for approximately 20 minutes. Let them settle and allow the pie to cool a little. If you're like me, I'm ready to cut into that pie right away. But let it cool. That way it doesn't just fall apart on you. You could actually place it in the refrigerator, but do not cover it because it can start to sweat. So we want to make sure that the pie does not sweat. Now, servings per pie options. Usually 8 adults per pie, which gives you 8 slices, or 1 football player per pie. That's also in my house. That would be my son. He wants his pie to himself, hence the 2 pie recipe. Or 12 children per pie. So that's 12 slices. Each person or each child gets 1 slice of pie. Sometimes you can make it stretch even further if you're really trying to watch what you're eating. All right, so I know no one wants to look at this, but this is very important. If below you see the triangle, let me know, because this is an important factor. Calories in this particular recipe are an approximation based on the ingredients and sizes of slice. Now, if sugar consumption or percentage of the sugar consumption is a dietary restriction for you, please consult with your physician before consuming any pie. Below here, you'll see a pie chart, and it'll show approximately how many calories per slice. Approximately 300 to 400 calories per slice, depending on the slice. If you'd like to go smaller, you can always cut one of these slices in half and minimize the slice. Also on the pie chart, it'll show you what it's like to consume half a pie, a quarter of a pie, 1 slice of pie, or 1 slice with whipped cream. Keeping in mind that each pie can cut between 8 to 9 slices per pie. Pies make everything better. My son had major knee surgery while in college in December of 2024. I asked him what did he want me to bring him when I flew to Miami. He said sweet potato pies, and so I flew in with 2 homemade sweet potato pies. Thank you so much for watching my presentation on Franz's sweet potato pie recipe. If you'd like someone to test this recipe out with you, you could always email me and we can schedule a time for me to have a slice of pie with you. Pie is always better with company. Thank you and enjoy.